Welcome to Divinely Speaking Unplugged. I am your host, Divine Sunshine. Today's topic is change up the programming. So last night I was watching Free Guy, and it is a movie. In case those of you all that have not seen it, is about a gaming program in which the AI becomes alive. And what is different is because of how one day he just woke up and said, you know what, like most games, everybody kind of does the same thing over and over again. And there are, he was one of those characters in the gaming system that was, I forgot the terminology, a CP or a CD, which is just like one in the background. It just helps the game going. Like if they're shooting somebody, there'll be like one of the people crossing the street that always got shot. You know, they're just there for just extras. And they're not the major or main players or the superheroes. They just help to kind of to keep it going. And so one day he was just like, you know what, I'm not going to wear the same blue shirt. I'm going to wear a different type of blue shirt. And, and what woke him up, and interesting enough, when I watched it, I said, this has kind of like a Twinflame-ish theme to it. Because one day he was walking around and this young lady sing the Mariah Carey, Sweet, Sweet Fantasy Baby. And so each time he was singing that, when he woke up, that was his alarm clock. And this young lady, who was a superhero, had walked past and she was humming that song. And so it had woke him up. And they were saying the man who had made the original one, because somebody else had stole their gaming program and created and made it their own self free. And I had stated that, I had put in the program, this guy was always looking for hope of love. And, that's just the way he had programmed him for. And so by her coming by and singing that song, that had awakened him. Well, that's the same kind of like story that is for Twin Flames. And so he had became, a superhero because they had like a bank robbery, and he had took anybody other superheroes. They had these glasses, were able to see everything, almost like Power Up, maybe floating dollars, and you grab the dollar, you have your bank account to go up. Or if you wanted to jump, you touch the floating jump little icon, and then you will be able to jump. And so with him gaining this power and taking the listening to her, going to take the glasses and becoming a superhero, and part of that, and then also falling in love with the young lady, had helped him to really step into his power. And it made me think about it. And he was like, it was just simply because he was even trying to tell his friend who was a security guard, then he's like, man, he tried to get the glasses for him. And so he was like, no, I'm fine where I am. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that. Just leave me where I am. And he's like, okay, this is, all you got to do is just take the glasses. That's it. But he didn't want it, which is typical, like, again, those of being divine. So, most of the time when I look at movies, I look at it more deeper meaning of a metaphysical, and how the glasses represent us really, truly changing our perspective and becoming divine. And looking at everything, how really, if you just go into, we talk about different dimensions, things are just actually floating. The house that you want, you can just play like you just touch it and you become one. The money that you want, it's just a change in perception and changing the program. And just simply by him doing that, it caused a wave of a wave into his life, to everything else to be changed as well. And it got me to thinking, everybody that we pretty much get in contact or talk to, or different situations, program us to act a certain way. When we're growing up and we're, as a child, our parents program us with the same programming that they had, the fear-based, you don't do this, you don't do that, Or you have some people that have parents that are very open-minded in this, and they do try to program them to be open-minded no matter what. Or, you have certain situations you still come in there with that open-mindedness, but then a certain situation might happen and then shut you down, and then it programs you, well, I don't think I might need to try it that way anymore. That way didn't work, so maybe I need to program myself to try it a different way. So everything, person, place, and things are programs. They're programming our minds to either shift, either to evolve, or either because of the pain that it gives us to either go the opposite way, which is to stop the growth. And in choosing, in order for us, and we're always talking about that we're in this matrix of things, in order for us to get out the matrix, we've got to choose to, instead of doing things the same way, we got to choose to do it a different way. And we have to consciously do that. Like most of the time when this such and such happens, most of the time I throw a fit, or I do X, Y, Z. How about this time I don't throw a fit? Like you said, when he went for coffee. She said, well, you always get the coffee with the cream and sugar. And he's like, I think maybe I want a cappuccino. And she's like, oh my God, cappuccino. And she's about to almost break down, the young lady that worked at the counter. He's like, okay. That's all right. We just stick with, the coffee. This is wonderful. But sometimes, even though people around you are not ready for that change, or for you to change the matrix or the programming that's going on, you still, if it feels right, and like he did eventually, went right back to it. No, this is where I am. I am a superhero. I don't care if they're rebooting or shutting down or trying to eliminate my program from the outside as programmers. But this is what I am. And we have to stay the course to really truly know that in our heart, whatever the program or the desires of our heart, to really truly align with that very thing. Because that is what the universe wants us. That's the reason why we came here. And we have to remember that again, that here on earth, as I found out, which I really love from James Van Praagh, so earth is a rehab. Some of us had asked to come here because we need to kind of rehab some of the habits that we have, which is like part of the program, that we keep on choosing to do the same things over and over again, but we don't choose to make it a different way. Maybe that time that every time when something happens, we always go into tailspin to overthinking. Maybe this time we say, I don't want to do it. That's it. I don't have time for that. I don't have time to worry. I'll leave that off to another day. Maybe I'll try to dedicate some time later on, but right now I'm not going to go into that. So I thought found that very fascinating. And at the end, they found themselves again creating their own world. He ended up not getting the girl, because again she had to end up telling him, listen here, I can't live in this world because I'm a human, which he was, but she was just a programmer in there, and that was just her avatar. And he said he understood and about the things. And so that'll be something else that I'll talk about on the next podcast, about how, again, the role of the karmic and how many times is very misunderstood, and how they come about. So I'll do that in the next podcast. But I want to say again, if you need any kind of services from me, you can hit me up on divineunisols11.co, which is my readings and spiritual counseling. But if you need something more tangible about like past life regression sessions or either MAT session, hit me up on AshantiWellnessCenter.com. All right then, as always, thank you for listening. Go out there and shine and stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste and Namago.